I have grown up listening to all the beautiful Bollywood classics. I'll sing some few lines from the song. कहानी सुना था सियाही के कलम से, सियाही के कलम से बुआ का खत आया था.
Who said you can't play guitar and code at the same time? Today we have somebody who's a software engineer by day and musician. Whenever his guitar calls or whenever his musical kida is alive. Please welcome Ishaan Nigam on Radio City Indie. Hi Ishaan, how are you?
Hi Shweta, I'm doing well. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how did your musical journey start?
So Shweta, it all started in a childhood. I have grown up listening to all the beautiful Bollywood classics like Rafi Sahab, Lata ji, Manna De Sahab. And luckily I was in a convent school wherein, all the prayers used to happen in a choir. So I was very attracted to that, and one fine day I asked my grandfather to gift me a keyboard. So he gifted me a beautiful Casio SA32, which I still have, and I started playing all the tunes, try to replicate them because I was not getting trained formally at that point of time. So that's how it all started, and at the age of 10 I think I participated for the very first time and faced the stage. So that's how it all started.
Wow. So now that हम रूबरू हो रहे हैं एक दूसरे के साथ.
Absolutely.
Tell me about your latest release, Roobaroo. What is the thought behind it, and how did it start? And it's widely loved and accepted today. So tell me that the entire story behind it.
So the entire story about behind Roobaroo is that me, Bright Roy, whom we both work together as a duo, and Siddharth Soni, who is the music producer of the song, decided to participate in 50 Hours Music Challenge. It's a challenge by India Film Project. So in that particular challenge, you are given 50 hours in which you'll have to write the song, produce it, sing it, compose it, and then mix master it and submit the song to them.
That's quite challenging.
Yeah. So and they give you some theme and some keywords that you'll have to include these keywords in the song.
Wow, it's like an SEO of musical theme.
Kind of. So we were given the theme that writes something about your childhood and current life and show a contrast between them. And also use some of the comic names or anything which you used to read as a kid. So if you listen to the lyrics, it has कि कभी सुनते थे मोगली, कभी सुनते थे शेर खां, कभी चाचा चौधरी की मशहूर कहानियाँ.
No. Listen, I'm sorry to cut you over here. We don't want to listen to the lyrics. We want you to listen how you play it.
Absolutely. I'll sing some few lines from the song.
Yes.
नानी की गोदी में कहानी सुना था सियाही के कलम से, सियाही के कलम से बुआ का खत आया था. कभी सुनते थे मोगली, कभी सुनते थे मोगली, कभी सुनते थे शेर खां, कभी चाचा चौधरी की मशहूर पहेलियाँ, न रही नानी न कलम की खुशबू.
Wow, that literally gave me goosebumps and it took me all the way back to my childhood.
Thank you so much.
So tell me, what part of your childhood was replicated into the song?
So the very first line of the song, नानी की गोदी में कहानी सुना था. So I've spent lot of my time as a kid between my grandparents with my dadi and dadaji. So I relate to that particular phase a lot. So yeah.
So what part of Mowgli and Sher Khan, what was your favorite comic character?
Mowgli a lot.
Why?
I don't know, because jungles and natures have always attracted me a lot, and that particular character has always revolved around the jungle stories and everything.
Sure.
So yeah.
So like these jungle characters are quite independent on their own. Was that one of your inspiration to enter into independent industry, or what was your inspiration?
The inspiration was because I have always felt, that music can't be bounded, or it don't have boundaries, because if I talk about film music, it is based out on a particular situation or a theme, right?
Right.
But when it comes to independent music, you are totally free to write about anything. You are free to compose about anything, and you are free to choose any sound you
Correct.
want. So that's why I like independent music a lot.
Right. So tell me about how your journey into independent music started. About from your first song till Roobaroo, how have you seen, your growth as an artist, your growth as a singer and songwriter?
So my journey as an independent artist started back in February 2019
Okay.
with my very first song, which is called Na Kabhi.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a very challenging song because I was a singer for that song, and before that I was doing lots of covers for
Sure.
Bollywood songs. So when it comes to original song, you don't have any cue or any any idea that how you'll put out your feelings
Correct.
through the lyrics. So you'll have to read a lot, you'll have to communicate a lot with the composer that what's his mindset
Sure.
behind creating that particular piece of song.
Mm-hmm.
So I still remember the song has been composed by Gamak Band. It's a
Okay.
band based out in Chandigarh.
Okay.
So everything was happening over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave me the lyrics, and then they sent me the composition, and then they asked me to sing the scratch and send back to them. So that's how the first song came out, and then the second song, which is O Jana, which we released in February 2020,
Mm-hmm.
was my very first song with my partner, musical partner, Bright Roy, with whom like I work as a duo. So this was our first song as a duo, and people loved that song. The song took almost 2 years and to complete, like the musical part, and it also faced lots and lots of rejections because of the tune of the song. Like many of the music producers denied to work on that particular song with a statement that it sounds very old. The
Oh,
melody
okay.
is very old, so we don't want to spoil our portfolio by working on that particular song. But with God's grace, like people loved that song like crazy.
Yeah, we all do. We sure do. So
Yeah.
just sing some of me for that.
Sure.
Sing your favorite part of
From Ojana.
O Jana.
So before starting out, I'd like to tell about the song that this has been beautifully written and composed by a very dear friend, Bright Roy. And these beautiful lines are from the verse of Ojana. जब सर्द शामों की उलझने तेरे सौंदे जिस्म को चूम के मेरी आयतों की दुआओं से तेरी आँखों को यूं मूंद दें, जब कोरे कागज की तरह लगे तुमको वीराना सफर, जिद मैं करूं पालूं तुझे, बन जाएगा सपनों का घर, तब इम्तिहान दिल चीर के हो जाए मेरे प्यार की, घर इस तरह मिल जाएगा खुदा मेरा तेरे साथ में, कहीं छोटी सी मुलाकात पे मेरे साथ मेरे ओ यारा चल, मेरी जिंदगी का बागबां खिल जाएगा तेरे साथ में ओ जाना, मेरे साथ चल, दिलकश हंसी अपना सफर बन जाएगा ओ।
That
Thank you.
was fabulous. Whom were you dedicating this song to?
So I would like to dedicate this beautiful song to everyone, every beautiful soul who promise their loved ones with a whole heart that they'll make their life as beautiful as heaven.
Nice. So, what was your inspiration behind writing this entire song?
So first of all, Bright has written the song, and he's a very very deep writer, I believe. And inspiration behind this is because nowadays we see that pure love is very very often we don't see it like on a very regular basis. It's very rarely found. So that was a pure intention behind this song, that there should be a promise and one should always keep his or her promise to his or her partner,
Right.
to make their life beautiful.
Speaking of partners, tell me, how did you and Bright meet and become this, really great duo?
So me and Bright met through a common friend of ours, and when I was in KM Music Conservatory, Chennai, and I came back to Delhi, uh, one of my friend told that I have a senior in my college, from my college, and he is also a keyboardist and a beautiful composer and lyricist. Why don't you meet him, and you guys should start working together. So that's how back in 2017 we met, and then we joined up, we jammed together, and started performing out in Delhi, started doing the live shows. And that's how one fine day, like he was writing something and then said ki, okay, just have a look at this song, and I've written this for you, why don't you try to sing this. And then he gifted me this beautiful song, O Jana.
Wow, you said that this took 2 years, 2 long years to be, musically ready and musically pleasing. What was the point where you were facing rejections? Because when I heard as a listener, I can't, differentiate between an old tune and a new tune. But if a music professional like you, just presents this to another music professional, what was the hurdle that you were facing in it?
So the hurdle which we faced was like most of the music producers said that the sound or the composition of the song is kind of very 90s feel.
Okay.
So that's why they wanted to work on something which is very modern. But I believe that the song has a very like great potential,
Of course.
because it was like uh, made with so much love, and lyrics has so much depth in it. So we went on to several music producers, and finally KD Kaustav Datta, who has produced the song, came into picture, and then he has produced the song beautifully.
Of course, he has. So before we started on rolling into this entire interview for you guys, Ishaan told me that there's a little something that you should know about O Jana. So why don't you tell our viewers?
Yeah, so basically we are planning O Jana 2.0 as well. So fingers crossed about that.
Tell me something. Or is the storyline going to be the same, or is it going to be something different that the viewers can expect?
Storyline will be a sequel. It will be a continuation to the storyline which we had in part 1. And the lyrics are again very different. Composition is different, but it will surely leave some impacts of O Jana 1.0 as well to the listener.
So again, Bright has written this song?
He has written and composed it.
Wow, awesome. So in your entire independent musical journey, what is that one phase where you felt like, oh, I've made it? Like today I am, I am Ishaan Nigam, I'm the Ishaan Nigam. And what was that one phase where you felt like, okay, probably I should just stick back to my desk job and keep guitar only as a passion, not a profession?
So the one thing which made me feel that people have started recognizing me is when I recently played at Musicathon. It's a music festival which was organized in Bir, Himachal Pradesh. So like some people came to me and said, okay, you are Ishaan and we have heard this song. And then I was like, it was very pleasing to know that people, like not 100 of people, but even like if 20 30 people from that entire fest are coming to you and praising your songs and your music.
Sure.
So it's a very auspicious moment for any artist.
Of course it is. Yes.
And then it was a very special moment for me. And when I talk about the desk job part, I'm never satisfied with that particular part, because I have always that kila to always do music how it can be different from what other musicians are doing. Because if I say about my music, at least I know that I've done a work which is not going in a single direction.
Correct.
Like if I see my released work, like every song is a way different from the other one.
Sure.
So that what makes me happy.
So what you are, a musician, a singer, a songwriter, and also a software engineer at the same time.
Yeah.
People say that after engineering they truly find their passion. Is it true? How after engineering did you find out that okay, music is where your calling is?
Absolutely. Like I realized that back in when I was in second year of my college, and I decided that this is what I want to do. And but music is something, or art in India as of now is something which is not a very sustainable field as of now. Because lot of people have went back to their homes during the lockdown, who were totally dependent upon the live shows and you know music scene,
Right.
or any other art form. So initially I also thought that okay, let's do this full time and then we'll see what happens. But having a very sustainable source of income is very important.
Correct.
Unless you are not having that particular name or fame in music industry or any art field. So yeah.
So is the education, like the basic education, be it into engineering or be it any field, does it help you to grow in music? Do you think education could be the base to everything?
I feel being educated is good, because see, when it comes to engineering, it's altogether a very different aspect. If I talk about music,
Right.
Similarly, if I talk about science, right? Science has something to do with music because again, music is based out on science, right? But if I talk about engineering, computer science engineering, it somehow helps you in because you are a coder and you love to explore softwares and stuff. And if you, as a musician, you want to get into music programming or mixing mastering, it somehow helps you. Not much, but still, it helps you a lot.
Yeah,
Because
as compared to me, who's a completely tech handicap,
I'm
who has
nothing like
no idea about what software
Yeah.
is used for what. So yeah.
So it somehow helps you to enter, like there are lots of course nowadays, like sound engineering and music production courses are going on there. So it helps you to reach up to certain point, and like you said कि हाँ engineering के time पे वो इंसान को अपना एक passion पता चलता है. So that's the most important thing.
Awesome. So coming back to what you said right now about live shows and everything, and you just said you recently performed in a live show. I'm assuming that it was after year and a half or 2 years that we are coming back on stage, and we're seeing our live artist or favorite artist perform live. Before and during the lockdown and pandemic, it was all about virtual and digital shows and all of it. So do you think that connect with your fans, that connect with people who like independent music is back again?
Absolutely. Like when we go and perform physically, right? The energy on the stage is altogether very different because the energy coming from the audience
Correct.
is what an artist strives for.
Right.
Right. Like during the lockdown, I've performed a lot. I've performed for various NGOs, for TEDx and stuff. But when you step up on the stage and even if for me, like no stages is small, but
Sure.
if I talk about any of the stage, so the energy is altogether different, and I believe it's very important to come on a stage.
True. So, like we were having a discussion about how lockdown was one of the factors that actually helped independent artists come out a lot and create a little community. What do you think has been a breakthrough moment for this industry, for the independent industry, as an independent artist?
So, what I have observed that from 2020 onwards, from 2020 till like now, lots and lots of cover artists as well who used to do covers on YouTube have started writing their own music and coming up with new songs. Lots of budding independent artists have emerged as country's sensation as well, right? So because before that, only medium of music considered was Bollywood, right? But getting influence from Western culture, wherein there's a music industry separate, right? We have a separate music industry and we have a separate film industry over there. Similarly, like now people have also started adapting the same culture in India. That's what I believe. In fact, if I talk about sounds and things used in independent music, that's way more, experimental and, very organic, which I believe. So, yeah, like people have started exploring a lot. Lots of youth have started exploring independent music as well and independent artists as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
What was your that one fan moment that you remember that, okay, tell us something about a crazy fan moment that you had.
Of mine with someone or some artist, or like of
No,
some fan with
not
me?
you, fanboying on some artist, but somebody who's come to you as a fan and they've done something very crazy for you.
So, okay. So, when I went to Beer, right? So, after I played my set over there, and one guy came to me and said that, Ishaan, I have been listening to O Jana like for past 1.5 year now, and I would like to invite you to one of the first tree house of Beer. So it's called Pratham Tree House, and he invited me to his tree house. Unfortunately, I was not having that time to go there, but I'll definitely visit it someday. But that was a very precious moment, when the owner himself comes and invites you to his place.
Very sweet. Yeah. We are charged double for these houses, man. Just give me a guitar, I'll also go for free. Speaking of guitar, tell me something that a person like me who has no idea how to play guitar, what could be the easiest instrument for them?
Ukulele. I've seen many people like, they are holding a ukulele, and I find very easy to play. Who have, again, who is not having a knowledge about how to play guitar or anything. Because, why people quit playing guitar at the very early moment, because the strings are of metal and stuff.
Sure.
Ukulele strings are nylon strings, and they don't hurt on
okay.
fingers. So and it's a very light instrument, right? And sounds very happy. So I believe it's a very easy and happy go instrument.
So I was asking you that you sung a variety of songs, from O Jana, which is completely into a romantic mood, to Roobaroo, which takes you back to your childhood or connects, to your childhood and the youth. Which genre have you enjoyed the most singing?
See, I try to explore and enjoy all the genres, right? I don't want to keep myself restricted to any particular genre. But because I come from a very, I love our cultural music, which is Indian classical music. So there's a song called Savaria, so which is a blend of Indian classical music and very semi-classical kind of folk kind of vibe.
Right.
So that has been again written and composed by Bright, and I got to sing that beautiful song, and that song is completely close to my heart because it was very challenging for me to sing and express that song.
Let's hear you sing that song.
साजनिया से हो गए देखो सारे दूर गिले, घूम नगरी ऐसे जैसे रांझड़ हीर मिले, आ गई है रुत सावन देखो, झूम के मन बरसावन देखो, बदरी बरसेगा है बावरिया, सावरिया 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 सावरिया.
This is actually very, that folk peppy sort of song.
Absolutely.
So what was your inspiration behind this? Because I think it is completely very different, and I think you're classically trained in classical music. So do you think that helped you a lot into this?
Yeah, because if I talk technically about the song, like the song revolves around chromatic notes a lot, and having that basic knowledge about how music works and how compositions are made, so it helped me a lot to I tried to do as much as justice I could do to the song.
I think you've done total justice to this song.
Thank you so much.
Great. So thank you, Ishaan, for being with us today. And it was great. I can't wait for O Jana 2.0 now. I hope you had fun with us over here. Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. So it was so much fun interacting with Radio City's indies. For more such indie content, do subscribe the channel.
Radio City.